I know this song.
Yeah.
It's The Tomorrow Show. At The Tomorrow Show. TheTomorrowShow.com. Captain Keven Undergaro. With my Lieutenant Commander Roxy Stryer.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, Kev.
We're here with Lucy Walsh.
Hello.
And Lucy, I have to say, I love the single.
Thank you.
This is Lucy's single that is in the upcoming movie Mother's Day.
Yes, which I'm in as well.
You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you very much.
I feel. Have you heard the comparison to Natalie Merchant or Amy Mann?
Yes.
You have heard that.
Yes, among others, but that's a good one. Thank you.
Oh, who do you
Who else have you heard?
Oh, Taylor Swift, Christina Perry.
Oh, I
any
see
others.
that.
Yeah, we all kind of run around in the same circles.
I'm an old guy, so I go to Natalie and Amy Mann, but I'm a huge fan of them.
Wait, same social?
Jody Mitchell.
Like social circle or
Yeah,
same?
social, and I've worked with a lot of the same producers as them, and you know,
Gotcha.
yeah.
I love it.
But this song I wrote like 10 years ago on my living room floor when I was going through a bad breakup, and just kind of let it go. You know, it was for the therapy of writing it, and then I just never imagined that it would
When did you record it?
be in a feature film with Julia Roberts.
You wrote it 10 years ago, and when did you record it?
Yeah, I recorded it then, and that's all I had was that demo, and I just like last week recorded this.
Come on.
Wow.
By the way,
For
don't you love
iTunes.
technology today that you can do this? So, but how did it get in the movies? Is it Gary Marshall who picks it, or is it a music supervisor?
Yeah, well, Gary asked for a batch of my songs. I have like
Isn't he the
200
best?
songs. He's the best.
Right?
Asked for it after you already cast?
Yes,
He knew
we
you were a
had,
musician.
we had filmed the movie. He knew I was a musician. He asked for like 20 songs, and they chose this one. And they hung on to the rest because they said, we can use a bunch of your stuff.
By the way, just
Other
note
movies.
Wow.
about Gary Marshall. Like, this guy has been such an incredible mentor
Yeah.
for the last 40 or 50 years. Like, so that's why everyone from Happy Days has had success. You know, 95% of them have had success, obviously starting with
Yeah.
Ron Howard, but also Henry Winkler and Anson Williams. They've all been super entrepreneurial, but that's the spirit that he encouraged.
It's true. He still does. He's very, very supportive of up-and-coming artists.
Just amazing.
He's amazing. He named my character after my mom, Jody.
Oh
And
my
he's just so loyal, so thoughtful.
But here's
That's very
here's the
sweet.
note. But here's the note for other people to realize.
Yeah,
That's why he's still working.
exactly.
That's why you give and you get, and that's the problem is people don't subscribe to that.
That's right.
But that's why he's still going. We had the writer on from Revenge of the Nerds on our last. We do this thing called Teach a Millennial a View because I'm trying to teach these freaking kids, and I know you're watching a movie a day, and I want to talk to you about that. I
Yeah.
love that you're doing that.
Yeah.
But we had on the writer from Revenge of the Nerds, and Gary Marshall 45 years ago was his mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and same with John Stamos. I mean, I know that.
Yeah, we know John very well.
I didn't know
And,
that.
Great guy. Well, because of the Greek mafia, and Maria knows him from the Greek thing, and he's a Howard Stern, huge Howard in the Howard Stern universe. So
Right.
we're in that Howard Stern brotherhood.
Yeah.
Him and I. So that's why. But he's.
Yeah, but that's why Gary can, get these movies made with these casts that are ridiculous because people are so loyal to him. Because you're right, it's a very
all just comes.
yeah.
back.
It just flows in a big circle. So it's great to be a part of that
But
now.
it's interesting because you grew up in the business.
I did.
With
Very
with
much
your
so.
dad
Yeah.
being Joe. It's funny. Roxy's dad was a manager for Aerosmith back in the day. So then she has family that works with Saturday Night Live and with Lauren Michaels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Broadway
always
video.
it's interesting. Her perspective on the business is different from mine at that age because she's been around.
Yeah.
Like, how has it helped you being kind of growing up with your dad and Ringo Starr being your like step uncle?
Yeah. Well, my mom kept me really far away from it when I was little. My parents got divorced when I was just a couple years old, and she took me to Northern California, and I had a very bohemian upbringing
What does that mean?
away from all of it. She just, I was always out in nature. I had no plastic toys. All my toys were wood and cloth. I didn't watch television.
Wow.
Yeah, I basically grew up on Gone with the Wind.
Child abuse.
Gone with the Wind, and the 10 Commandments were the movies that I would watch over and over and over and over.
Wait, stop. You
I know.
that's a juxtaposition from the bohemian and the hippie thing to Ten Commandments.
Well, I could only
How'd
watch
that
a
happen?
movie. Like I could only watch movies, and so my favorite were.
Oh, it was your favorite. It
They
wasn't
were
your mother.
my
It
favorite,
wasn't your
yeah.
mother saying you need to watch Ten Commandments.
No, I wanted to be Vivian Lee, and I just wanted to do what those women in those movies were doing. And Mary Poppins, that was my third movie.
When you go back to Gone with the Wind now, is it weird for you to watch now? With all with
I just
have you seen it?
rewatched
It's one of my favorite films. It was my mom's #1 favorite.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
see again, I don't want to. This is Lucy's interview. This
What?
is Lucy's day.
Say
No,
it.
these kids watch Revenge of the Nerds,
Right.
and they were all up in arms about this is date rape and the photo, and they were taking up for the jocks. The jocks were being persecuted. They missed the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then she sits through. I love Gone with the Wind. It was
Yeah,
like
because frankly, I don't give a
it was a billboard for slavery. Oh my
And he
god!
manhandles her and carries her up
Yeah.
the stairs, and the next morning she's all happy. That's what she needed.
No,
She
but
just
the
Kevin.
slaves are like fanning them as they're sleeping, and they're not, and
Well,
it's like.
It's because I really look at that as a different time. Like that was really
It was a
different
different
time.
time.
And that time horrifies me.
Yeah, me too. It's fucked up, definitely. But what happened to Revenge of the Nerds
It's
doesn't-
worse than slavery.
It doesn't
Oh,
seem like a
come on,
different
stop.
time.
These millennials, they kill me. They kill me. No, I'm going to die young. I
What
don't
are we
want
gonna
to.
do with these
And
millennials?
but you're right there. You're
I'm
right
Yes, I am
there.
one of them. I know.
You're
I
like
know.
you're there. You're Maria's millennial cusp, millennial adjacent. You're right there.
So I back to my tangent.
Yeah.
I had this hippie life, and then
10 Commandments, hippie
yeah.
life.
yeah, I knew I wanted to be an actor. That was never a question.
Even though you couldn't watch TV or anything, just with the movies, you
yeah,
knew.
television never really.
I know a
occurred
lot
to
of
me.
great actors who did the same thing.
Yeah,
It was because it was really more about the acting.
exactly.
Because a lot of times, Rox, when you George Costanza, my God, Jason Alexander,
Yeah.
he watched so much Star Trek as a kid that his version of acting when he started out, he was imitating William Shatner
Yeah,
playing Captain Kirk, and Shatner's style, which is often mocked, was that doing the hands and the this and the
Right.
that. You know,
Yeah.
and so I think it's much more pure.
yeah,
Right? That
yeah.
you-
It is very pure, and unfortunately, my ideal view of a woman is Scarlett O'Hara. She's
Well,
a little bit of a
okay.
brat, so I try to be
But
nice.
a brat, but at the end, we'll say it's about Scarlett O'Hara. But she ends that movie, and she says, "I'm going to pick up. I'm going to be strong. I'm going to be independent." So I don't know about
As God is my witness,
Yeah.
I'll never go hungry again.
yeah, but that to me that wasn't brat. That was
No.
strength.
Yes, she is a very strong. She's my favorite actress, Vivian Lee. I have a big portrait of her in my living room.
She's your favorite actress. Huh?
Yes.
Who else do you like from now that we're
I just watched Wuthering
educating you?
Heights last night.
Okay.
Yeah. So Laurence Olivier is
Got your heart.
my favorite. Oh gosh. I love Betty Davis. I love Joan Crawford. I love Jean Tierney.
Okay, now she can watch these movies and appreciate them. I had these guys watch High Noon with Gary Cooper and
I own that movie. Grace Kelly, yes.
I don't know
I
why
love
it didn't
you.
do it for me.
yeah, right. Get everyone out. No, honestly, I'm not going to do this tonight. I've thrown them all out of here before. I won't do it tonight because
You and
we
me
have
all-
company.
We deserved
But
it, though.
but with the High Noon, they were like Jared at 32 was like, I just the bad acting. I couldn't. It's a different style.
It's a different
True,
time.
true.
It's a different style. You're
Like
right.
Brando reinvented. He's the one that
Brando. I was watching Streetcar today.
That was the
That's
beginning.
one of my favorites,
Yeah.
too.
That was the beginning of
I
that
love that
rawness.
play.
Yeah. Brando changed acting. He changed everything.
Wait, so you are in this hippie place, and
Yeah, and
then because your mom didn't want you involved in the music industry, or just
not so much. She wasn't really in that world herself.
I think it was the healthiest move.
it was because
You know-
I'm halfway normal. Oh. I'm half normal
No,
because
you're
of my
you're an
mom.
artist,
Yeah.
but you're not crazy.
No.
It's rare when someone can grow up in this business
Yeah.
and end up normal. For every Leo and Ron Howard, you have literally probably 500 or 1,000. It's too much for a kid.
That's right.
I always tell my friends, you know what? School plays, all that stuff is great. Study at home. No. Okay, 18, we can start to take this serious.
That's what my mom
22,
said.
perfect.
So at the time, though, when you were young, do you remember fighting to be more Hollywood or wanting to be there and asking your mom? Or were you always like, okay, Mom, whatever it is that you say?
I didn't know what Hollywood was.
Oh, they
until
really.
I never even went to the city.
They really sheltered
They
her.
did.
Wow.
But with
All
your
I knew
dad,
is-
did you know? But did you know?
Yeah,
Did
so
you know who
then-
your dad was? Joe
At one
Walsh.
point, I thought my dad was in the Beatles.
Stop it!
Because-
No, stop it! Come on.
And they say, "Oh, which
How
one
old-
is he?" And
how-
I'd say, "Joe."
Wait a second. How old were you?
I was like 12 or something.
You were 12.
Yeah,
and,
and
you
then-
didn't-
and
you
then-
didn't- you were 12 and you didn't know your dad was Joe Walsh.
No, because the Eagles hadn't gotten back together.
But-
So I never,
But,
I
okay,
had
what
never
about
seen
when
that.
Guitar Hero got exploded? Because that reintroduced that era of rock and roll.
Are you kidding? I wasn't allowed to play with Guitar Hero. Well, what happened was the Eagles got back together,
Okay.
and then I knew exactly who my father was.
That's when.
That was when I was 12 or 13, and I remember one of their first shows back. They were at the Rose Bowl,
And you went.
and I
hope.
went, and I was just
Oh, you were allowed to do that, though. Yeah.
yeah. Then
But no,
yeah,
but imagine a girl from the woods going to the Rose Bowl,
yeah.
which Roxy's been drunk at many times because she's a
Right.
brat from
Yeah.
USC. But forget that. Tell me about that experience.
Yeah, that was a big deal for me. And what I did that night, and what I've honestly done at every Eagles show ever, is I close my eyes, and and as the crowd is roaring, I just slowly turn all the way around, and I just take it in, and I imagine that it's for me.
Ah!
Where are you?
Move over, Dad.
Are you backstage while you're
No,
doing that?
at that show I was up in a box, so I
Yeah,
could really
protected.
see.
But that was your dad. What was that? I mean, it had to blow your mind.
I was very proud. And in the
Yeah.
Eagles documentary, I don't know if you've seen it.
Mm-mm.
You should watch it. It's very inspiring. This documentary they made just a few years ago, which is so amazing because now Glenn is gone. But in that documentary, somebody was in the room with a camera and filmed my little 12-year-old self at one of their first. It was that very first show back on VH1 where they're sitting on stools.
I remember that.
I went in his dressing room and I wrote on a napkin, like, "I'm so proud of you. I love you, Dad." And I set it up like by his mirror. And that's really kind of my dad and I's relationship. We, when we don't really know how to relate to each other so well, we have the art, we have the craft, and we can really go there to the music. And
Are you the only one of his kids
Talk.
that plays, performs?
they're younger than me, so the little one,
The other brat?
one is like a brilliant computer scientist
Good.
Wow.
in
Keep-
university
keep
right
him in
now.
that. Good. Solid.
And the
good
other
earner.
one wants to be an actor, so I'm really,
Eh,
fueling him. So
When you talk about the difficulty in relating,
Yeah.
what are the ways he found to relate to you then? So you write him these messages
Yeah.
and the music, but what are some of the things he's done for you?
same kind of thing. Like I remember one of the first songs I learned, he said, "Hey, come here," and he sat me down at the piano and he taught me Desperado.
That song makes me cry every single
I
time
know,
listen to it.
me too. And so he really uses that also, and I think we're both really grateful.
wait.
To have
he uses
that.
what?
Like the music to spend time with me. He comes to my shows all the time if I'm doing a play or whatever. He always comes if he's in town and really makes an effort. So
Is he on tour a lot?
yes,
He's on tour a lot.
very
yeah.
busy. Both of us are really busy.
I
So
mean, enjoy it while you're here. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what they love to do.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like why wouldn't you be out there doing it with
yeah,
your
he
fans?
can't
why
stay
you
home.
can? No, and why?
Yeah.
What about? I mean, like so now when at 12, when you start realizing my dad's Joe Walsh,
Mhm.
do you start learning more about music and about like classic rock and things like stuff from that era?
Yes. I knew a lot of those guys just because all my parents are in the business. My stepdad was a big manager for a long time, and so he worked with Fleetwood Mac and Kenny Loggins.
Your mom's second ex-husband.
So I had it coming from all sides, and then
So-
all my grandparents are musical, so I had a lot of music.
So even when you were up north,
Mm-hmm.
the stepdad comes in,
Yep.
and Kenny Loggins, and who did you say?
Fleetwood
Fleetwood
Mac.
Mac,
Oh,
Fleetwood, yeah.
Jesus.
So
So you must have seen Fleetwood Mac, right?
I've never seen them live, but I know them. You know, it's like my parents' friends.
I mean, no, but really, but up north, did they come to the house for cookouts or just?
Sure, yeah, I'd be around people like that.
Like
all the
Stevie?
time, yeah. I've been around Stevie.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's like my dream of dreams. She's like the god.
Yeah, and then my dad put me with a private teacher, so I've had 15 years of classical piano and voice.
How often did you meet with the teacher?
Juilliard master.
Oh.
For 10 years, I was 5 days a week at 8 a.m. every day. And right now I'm once a week. So I've been with him for almost 15 years.
You're still taking lessons?
Mm-hmm. I had my voice lesson this morning.
Okay, so again, we were talking all week, on the show, we talk a lot about the millennials, but see, the lesson is that you're continually training. You're
Well,
just
see,
still
that's
trying to
what I
perfect your
got
craft.
from my dad. That really, people are always saying, what was it like? I don't think I'm really the typical, like, rock star daughter that people like to.
You don't sound like it. No.
But because what I got from who my family is that work ethic and that respect for the craft and working as hard as you can to make it as good as it can be. That's really what I got,
And everyone think, isn't it so funny how civilians think it's just
because
easy and then
because
party
the
rock
secret
star.
is that you make it look easy, and then the civilians buy that,
Right.
and that's the excitement of it. But I've seen my dad practice a 6-note riff for 5 days before getting on stage and making it look like he just came up with it,
Okay, millennials, did we all catch that? So the great Joe Walsh practices.
Works his ass off.
Still practicing and
Every
working
day.
every day.
Every day.
Oh.
So that's what I try to do. And Gary Marshall actually cast me in his movie after
Look at
he.
the pictures of you. You were adorable. Wow. Amazing.
Speaking of looking at pictures of her, though, you look different in almost
I know.
every photo you take.
Yeah, 'cause this is you as a blonde.
Yeah, I did a little Instagram.
Oh my God, that's my
stalking.
cat.
You're obsessed with your cat, I hear, too. You love your
Not
cat.
bad.
I love my cat.
Oh, he's amazing.
Her name is Ivy Sparklepus Godiva.
Look at that face. But the face says so much, doesn't it?
She's amazing.
Yeah, we're going. I'm
a
having.
total cat woman. I don't admit that. This is the first time I'm openly admitting that.
Really? When
Yeah.
you're mad at your cat, are you like, Ivy Sparkle Puss Godiva?
Yes.
What have you done?
She gets mad at me
Look
more
at
than
that
I get mad at
face.
her.
Oh.
She's my baby. But anyway, I was just going to say that Gary Marshall cast me after seeing me in a Shakespeare play.
Right.
Yeah, what brought him out to the play?
Yeah, he knows my acting teacher, Gloria Gifford, very well, and he's very loyal to our group. He's always coming. He just came to see our current play this last week in the midst of promoting Mother's Day. But yeah, he came out and came to Comedy of Errors, and I was playing Adriana, and he called me in for a screen test after that. So.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Is this a private acting coach or?
No, we're in a group. We have like 60 or 70 people that are part of our group right now. It's really a lot of fun.
Did you have any idea that he was going to be there?
No.
Wow.
No.
Lucky that you performed your butt off that night.
Yeah,
then.
but that's what I'm saying. No, but see,
Not
she's
lucky.
working hard, and it doesn't matter who comes what night, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so how does Ringo Starr get into this?
So Ringo.
I mean, so it's like the Eagles isn't enough. Now we do go to the Beatles, which is crazy.
I know. Ringo's always been in my life since before I was born. I was actually conceived at their home in England, as gross as that is.
It's not gross. It's awesome.
I know. So he's always.
By the way, let me add the spells off you, rock star, right?
Yeah.
Okay, dad. Guess who he's banging? You think he's banging some ugly girl? You think that this face is produced by? Come on. So you know the wife is hot.
Yeah, totally.
So I'm loving the fact that they banged it in England. Oh yeah.
Yeah, totally England.
That's the best fun fact ever for a party. That should be like your
gross.
opening line when you
Right?
walk into a
Like,
room.
that's so cool.
No, but yeah. So then all this time later, my dad actually married Ringo's wife's sister. So Ringo and my dad are married to sisters, Marjorie and Barbara.
Okay, that's hilarious.
I know.
Where's the picture of mom? Feel like there's a picture of mom somewhere.
There's a picture of mom on my Instagram from the Mother's Day
We'll
premiere
find it.
last week.
So your mom,
yeah, there she is, right there.
Mom,
yeah.
relatively attractive, right?
That's my mom.
Yeah.
That's who you took for the premiere. So cute.
And I can't believe I didn't know Ringo Starr and Joe and Joe Walsh are brother-in-laws.
Yeah. So.
Do they spend time together?
Oh, yeah.
Because the sisters close?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
yes.
so you're screwed.
Yes.
Yeah, the women. Yeah, that's
Why
how
are they
it goes.
screwed?
Because just my mom has boys, and she's the one who taught me. She said, Kevin, boys were great growing up, getting a lot of male attention, but
Right.
later in life, because the women really run the show in the marriages, you guys all go to the women's family.
Exactly.
And she's like, I'm alone. So I'm saying those two sisters, doesn't matter how big the stars those guys are, it's the women run the show with the domestic
know your
stuff.
Yeah.
So that's God. I mean, do you grasp the fact that even being a fly on that wall or being the fifth person at a dinner with those four, those two, just got to be kind of
with
awesome?
Those two, every time we have a family get together, I take full advantage of talking about the craft with them. I mean,
has Ringo taught you anything about music in the business? What?
Yes. I always sit with him and ask him about what it was like, in the beginning. And he told me that, they came from nothing. The Beatles came from nothing. They were sitting in the dirt next to the railroad tracks. And he says that, they would drive for their little gigs that they would play in their van. They had their gear in the back and they'd sleep on the gear because they couldn't afford a hotel wherever they were. And he says the first time he had smoked salmon at a business meeting in London, he didn't know what it was because he'd only ever had canned salmon, and he'd never seen food like that. And he said, all I knew is that I wanted to play the drums, and I would do whatever it took to get to the next opportunity to play the drums. And that's never changed. He said he still feels that way, and everything else that came was a surprise.
Even if he had to learn to eat lox.
Yeah.
Whatever it took. Yeah.
He's the first Beatle to have a hit when they broke up.
Ringo?
A fact that most people don't know. They always dismiss him as the, fourth Beatle.
And he's still making great music. And
I love his music.
Yeah.
Touring.
And
I love his work.
Yeah.
I really do. And I think he's fun on stage too.
He's really
It's funny,
fun.
when you're with a millennial, Maria, who I always call Karen, goes back to Goodfellas. Karen, yeah, so you hear it. But we were watching Ringo perform at one point, and she's like, "Who's this old guy?" I'm like, "What? Who? Really?"
She's gonna be so pissed you just said that.
I don't care. It's like, but she also grew up Greek, and they didn't speak the language, so I get
Yeah.
it. She didn't know, but it's like, it's freaking Ringo Starr, Richard Starkley, for cry.
Starkey.
Starkey.
Yeah.
Starkey.
Such a British name.
What else? So, what else would you have learned from Ringo? Like, I'm dying because I've always been most fascinated by him. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Really?
Maybe because I'm all about the underdog, and he was the underdog Beatle. I felt.
He's just very humble. He's grateful for what he's.
Do you watch him perform live too?
Yeah.
He does a lot of great. Yeah, right.
He just loves the music. That's really, you just get that. It's so invigorating to be around artists of that caliber.
Do you ever get notes from him or your dad on
Yeah,
your
sure.
music? You'll send it to them and ask for their critiques.
Yes.
And
Yes.
From both of them.
Um.
More your dad.
Yeah, more my dad. But Ringo's very honest. He's very funny. He's very honest, and he'll just say it.
Well,
but I'm that way too.
But also, when I find someone is so famous
Yeah.
and so powerful in a sense, there is no filter because
No.
they're just over it. They've heard everything.
Yeah.
Even when you meet those people, it's so hard because they've heard everything.
They've heard everything.
And so with them, I always find there's just no time. So I totally believe he'd be like,
Yeah.
listen, this is honey.
He is. And he's that way when people come up to him. He's really funny.
Well, what kind of thing will he say to you, though? Like being very honest.
I can't think of any one thing right now.
Really? He'll just, whatever it is that
He
he'll
just-
say,
he'll
he'll
be
be
like,
like,
Well, it's
okay.
it's hard for those guys because
That's my impression of it.
well, it's hard for him because for both of them, but especially for him because people look at him as deity. They look at him as beyond royalty,
Yeah.
godlike, and
Of course.
he seems annoyed by it. When he, at least in interviews, it's like enough. I just want to make my music.
It's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy to accept that all the time.
And to trade.
I've seen how you have to protect yourself, and there have been some pretty scary instances with my family, with my dad, with him, where it's too much. It's too much.
Again, civilians don't understand this.
They don't understand it, and it's no disrespect or rudeness, but it's hard.
Thank you. Yeah.
You know, you have to remember that John Lennon was shot and killed.
Yep.
And we all have to keep that in mind. I have to keep it in mind all the time.
You
I
do.
forget who I am,
You
but
know,
people know who I am. And, I
absolute-
walk to my apartment at night by myself, and you got to remember where you are.
I'll tell you a little bit of our little personal dramas here at the Tomorrow Show. I haven't screamed at Roxy often in the 6 years I've known her, but I did scream, and I had veins bulging because it was about a security issue at my house. And being with Maria Menounos, who's famous and young and beautiful like you, and for me it's for you it's John Lennon. That's what is in the back of your head, rightfully so. For me it's Fran Drescher being raped and her boyfriend at the time being tied up and made to watch.
Right.
And it's my nightmare of nightmares. And so and civilians and outsiders don't get it.
They don't get it.
They don't get it. It's freaking scary.
And you can't get it. You can't expect people to get it, but you just have to. You have to do what you have to do. And for me, I have a big button when people post pictures of me without asking, like friends and stuff. I'm always having that argument because that's a button for me.
Like a candid picture,
yeah.
you mean? Like not a pose, you guys are...
No, if we're posed, that's fair game. But if it's like a candid...
And so, Lucy, to your point, and I don't want to raise my voice again, trying to be nice tonight, but I'm drinking, so I'm going to get crazy. But I won't. I've already the booth is already bummed up for me yelling earlier on. But Roxy, the subject came up as well with Maria.
Right.
Photos, videotape. One night she goes out drinking. She's like, I don't even get to go drink and have fun. And the one night I do, everyone is videotaping me and photographing me. And she's like, now I don't want to go out again. That broke my heart. 10 years, like poor Maria wants to just go and have fun the one night. And that's what they do. And for us, Maria is in the news business.
Right.
There's such thing as, again, which a civilian or a millennial won't understand, there's such thing as a morality clause.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, I've had to explain it. And sometimes I have puppets, and I don't have them here because sometimes I use puppets to explain to these guys so they'll understand. But I go to Pat O'Brien. He hosted The Insider. He was making like $5 million a year. He goes and he gets drunk. He shoots his mouth off. Whatever his coke is, this, that. It goes on Howard Stern. It goes everywhere. It goes viral. I don't know if you remember this. It was like 10 years ago. It was huge. You got Lauren and Jared. You have to remember, right? Because every radio show.
Oh yeah.
Right. Mocked it. Right.
Yeah.
What no one understands is the first thing Paramount did was say, "Come on, Pat, let's meet. This is terrible for the show. Blah 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 blah. But you know what? We're behind you. We're not going to fire you." Wow, phew. But we've taken a hit. Advertisers, this, that. You understand. So. And this is alleged, and he wrote about it in his book anyway, but I will say alleged just for legal reasons. He went from about $5 million a year in that moment to $250,000 a year, and soon after he was gone. So, again, my millennials think, Maria doesn't have a right, and you don't have a right to be upset about them posting candidates. When you've worked, you're talking about all the hours you're putting into your career, all the sacrifices you're making, all the stuff your dad's still doing, and then the fact that, if you put it up there, okay, that's your choice. But for friends to do that, no. A civilian, fine, if they take a picture.
Right,
from
of course,
right.
of course.
But they.
When you're in the public eye, it comes with the territory, and
it does.
I'm not trying to say that poor celebrities, but I am saying friends and trusted people in your life. And family. You
gotta know better.
Yeah, you gotta know better.
I mean, I'm the one. I tell you now, I am so conditioned that even if I didn't know you, Lucy, I say put the effing camera down.
I am too.
All the time
I'm
to
same
anyone.
I'm like
anyone's
a mother
in our business.
bear. I get so
yeah.
up in arms about people because you're right. Because I have the. I don't even want to talk about it.
No, it's okay because I'm the same way.
Fight you on it though? That you'll say.
No, they just forget.
Oh.
They just forget.
No, and I don't mind when it's innocent. But the one thing I get with the millennials is the back talk and listen, I'm copying to the fact you didn't understand or you weren't aware. Now I'm making you aware, and that's it. There's no more discussion. Why are we debating? Why is this fucking being debated, Roxy?
Right.
No, never mind. Sorry. But why is this being debated? It's not to be debated. Stop. But I'm the same way. I'm trying to think of some of the celebrities who I didn't know that I went in and I stopped. Like,
I always
no,
do that.
Put it down. You don't, that's not appropriate.
You know, I was close with Britney Spears when she was going through some of her drama.
Right.
And a lot of magazines, I've never seen anything like that. It was shocking and it was heartbreaking.
South Park, did a parody about it.
I know, I wasn't happy with them.
Yeah, but the meaning of it, remember, was the fact that she was going to kill herself. Like they actually copped to it at some point. Like, enough.
Yeah.
Because
it was enough because she was being driven to not a healthy place at all. But that's her life, whatever. But anyway,
it's stabilized. I mean, it's like, it's like she's stable. It is stabilized now to a degree. I mean,
yeah, she's working, and
but
she's
again,
very
this is somebody who made it
happy when she's working.
This is someone who wasn't up being a hippie up north till she was 18.
She's never known anything else,
and
except
that's why
being incredibly famous.
How did you guys hook up? How did you guys?
I knew her cousin, and so we were both dancers, so we started going to dance class together and just sitting around playing piano and talking. And she really doesn't have anyone that she can trust, I think, to talk to. And I'm somewhat normal, so we had
you're in the fraternity. You understand between who you are, your dad is. You know what I mean? You get it.
But the button was hit for me because her world was so infiltrated. And she just was so powerless to stop it, really. And so a lot of magazines came to me at the time and offered me insane things, a lot of news, outlets. And I said, no.
Nope.
And go F yourself to every single one.
Good girl.
Yeah.
Because I will get in your magazine the right way, but it will not be by selling my friend out. I guess people do that. I can't imagine that.
Apparently some of our friends.
I know.
By the way,
of course people do that.
No. By the way, I can't wait for you to do Maria's show because you guys will have even more common ground.
I can't wait. I know.
But
oh my God, she's gonna love her.
Yeah, she is. But no, we have been the victim of it, and we've seen people who do that, and it was a world we were not familiar with. Well, sometimes it's money that they receive for the information, and sometimes just a trade out.
I trade out everything.
Like we'll do an article for you about you later.
They said we'll give you the cover, and I'm not going to say which magazines it was, but it was the highest ones. We'll give you magazine, cover and 10-page spread. And I said,
I just think
absolutely
you sell your soul.
not.
Bad things come. I just think bad things come later, no matter what.
Of course.
No matter what.
Well, you get this, Keven, too, because this has been happening to you recently. Magazines are trying to publish things about him, calling people for stories.
They called that. We joked about it. They called about a month ago, and they were like, "We hear Kevin's dying of cancer." And that was like the thing. And so Maria got like you, because she's a female. She got all up in arms, and I said, "Stop! Wait, listen." Let's open a dialogue.
Right.
I don't mind. Like, let's get some publicity. Miriam wasn't a big fan.
Keven, who doesn't have cancer and is not dying of it, like somebody called
whatever.
and gave
If it's
them
gonna
that
move the needle, I'm in. I'm in.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's funny, and I don't know why. Like my mind just goes to ideas, but I wouldn't it be cool? So Lauren LaGrasso, how cool would it be? A creative collaboration between Lucy Walsh and Britney Spears.
I think it'd be
something
amazing.
Different, right?
Would you ever write for her, Lucy?
Yeah, she actually asked me to write.
What are we doing? Let's go.
And I sent her some songs, and then her manager,
Larry Rudolph, or is it someone new?
I know Larry very well, and her other guy. I think they were confused because I was sending them. I don't know.
Is it too in the vein of what your current?
She wanted from me was a piano ballad.
Yeah, like that one she did. What was that?
Yeah.
Make Believe. That
yeah.
So Lauren's by the way, Lauren's a really talented musician.
Oh, nice.
She's hypersensitive. Tonight she's upset because she got the millennial speech, but she's incredibly gifted singer-songwriter. But Lauren, don't you think that there would be something really cool between Lucy and Britney?
I'm going to be honest with you. The minute you said her name, I thought she needs to write
Yeah.
another one of those type of ballads.
Yeah.
That was one of Britney's best songs.
Yeah. It
Everyone
was.
loved it.
Yeah.
It was even a great song that she's done live, and I know she's come under a lot of criticism
we-
for her live performance. But man, she really
We got to make that happen.
she sang that from her gut, and I think if she could get another song like that, the people would
Yeah.
respond.
I'm
Yeah.
confused though. So you wrote her a piano ballad and you sent it to
The
them.
song she loved of mine is actually on YouTube. It's called Lullaby. There's a music,
can we pull
there's
that
a
up,
music
please?
video for it.
It's funny, Pat O'Brien's voicemails we have
Yeah.
up on it.
Maybe
Jared
she-
at 32. That's our
was
booth.
ready.
I apologize. But let's pull that up. That's interesting.
Maybe
So-
she should just sing this song.
But then you sent it to them and you think they didn't know what exactly you were doing or what you were trying to do there.
You know,
You're not sure.
yeah, it just kind of fell off.
Yeah.
It just, I just,
All right. Well, we're bringing
just
it
didn't
back
follow
up.
up on it, but
We're pushing it back again.
yeah. You can skip to like
Some
the
drama
chorus
here.
or something.
Wait, but I don't even understand. Is that you? Because
That's
every time
me.
I'm telling you, you look so different. You're
I
a
know.
chameleon.
Yeah, who's that chick?
I know.
I've reinvented myself many times.
I love it.
Yeah.
See, I hear her singing this.
Yeah, I actually wrote this about a boyfriend of mine who passed away of cancer
Wow.
when he was 22, and that's the field we used to go to make out in his car in.
What a cool story.
In your 20s, you used to make out in the car in the field.
I did. I still do.
I'm loving Lucy Walsh the blonde. I have to say,
Oh,
big fan of
thanks.
Lucy Walsh the blonde.
I'm
Big
a
fan of the
fan
redhead.
of the redhead too, though.
I am, but you know, being a dude, we love our blondes.
Yeah.
And
That
so
one looks
so
more like a rock star as kid, though. Like,
so wait.
I was
any,
going through a phase.
any chance that this could be that this still could go through to Britney, or is
Sure.
it done deal?
Hi, Brittany. I love you.
Yeah, but I think this would be amazing for her. Like she could sing this from her heart, right, Lauren? I mean,
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, she has been through so much. You guys were just talking about it, and she could use a gritty song like this. That's not the party songs. We'll keep the party songs, but let's get some of that
I know,
grit and
you
bring
imagine-
it through the music.
and I know they always go funky with her vocals, but could you imagine if we just gave her a shot to be raw?
She's got a beautiful voice. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
She does.
Yes.
Come on.
Absolutely.
No, when you hear when she's little, Kev, you hear the power in it. I remember hearing her sing a country song when she was little in one of those behind the music things.
Yeah.
She could bring that out in this song.
Can you pull one up, Lauren?
Yeah, let's see what we can do.
This is amazing. This song.
Thank you.
Is it really
Lullaby.
difficult to write for somebody else, though? Because you are such
No.
an amazing performer. No, it doesn't bother you?
I don't think so. No. I actually do much better when I'm writing for other people.
For someone else. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
Because it's like safer than I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting because not every song is meant for you, and that's kind of a strange
By the
thing
way,
to figure out.
It's actually very prevalent in a lot of businesses. There's an author. There's an author of the book called The Game. I was meeting with last week, and he's a former Rolling Stone writer, and he's gonna be hosting a pretty big talk show. So he came over to our studios at AfterBuzz, and he wanted like just some help. He's a friend. So Maria and I were coaching him along, and he said, you know, it's funny. Everything you guys are telling me is stuff that I've written in my book for other people, but it's always hard to apply it to ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, even for me, like I'm coaching everybody
Right.
on their careers, but it's always hard for
Like-
ourselves.
Of course.
Yeah, it's just hard for ourselves. I get that.
Yeah.
So we have young Britney singing. Let's hear this. Because Lauren, you're the first one ever to say that.
No, she had a really good voice, at least in what I saw when
But
she was young.
for Lucy to say that, because who knows her today? Wow, you're right.
Wow.
And this isn't even what I saw. I mean, this is more poppy. She was singing something really powerful in the video I'm thinking
Here we
of.
go.
This is it.
Holy crap.
Oh my
Wow.
How cute.
Look at that outfit, too.
What? Roxy, I'm in shock what I'm watching.
The people on iTunes don't think this is Britney Spears.
It's-
Switch over to
Lauren!
.com.
See?
Where's this been?
She's been hiding it under that pop sound, but I'm telling you, she's got to bring it out in our song Lullaby. That
Lucy.
Lucy is going to
That's
get
right.
No.
Larry,
Alright,
I'm
bring
calling
it
you
down.
tomorrow, Larry.
No, seriously, Lucy, come on now. No,
Let's
I'm,
get him on the horn.
no, I'm serious. Like,
The world needs this.
you need to no, because you're the way you're saying you're mama bear and you're protective, and then you're an artist who knows how to create for other people. Like,
Yeah.
she needs someone to get in her corner and pull this back out. I feel like this has all been kind of covered up, and then whatever pain she has been anesthetized, and do you know what I mean? And
All of us,
it's
God.
right.
Yeah.
But somebody, it's those great producers who know how to, it's who worked with Johnny Cash at the end of his life, Rick Rubin.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what Rick Rubin brought out of Johnny Cash at the end of his life? And Johnny Cash at first was like, "What are we doing here?" He's like, "Trust me on this." I feel like and I'm never wrong about this stuff. I feel like we got to make this connection
We will.
because with that song with Lullaby and what's inside of Britney, which we see, because that 11-year-old is still in there. That's really amazing.
Yeah, we got to get on the phone tomorrow.
Yeah, we do. No, really, you do. You need to. And for her, not for you, for her. Because I'm telling you, no, but she needs this. Like, I think she needs.
She wants it. Yeah.
Instead of
She's
a
got a lot she wants to do with her music.
She'll knock out another studio, I'm sure, another studio pop single, and it'll be fine. It'll be great. But I feel like we need something, like that, where she can be raw.
Question, Lucy. Is the reason why this isn't working out because her management is, for lack of a better term, cock blocking it?
No, I don't mean to say that there was any issue or stop to it. We talked about it, and then she's doing the Vegas thing now and focusing on that. And so it's my response, I need to follow up with them again. And
also reps, just so you know, they're not like most of them don't think. They're not thinking about long term.
Well, she'd have to push this.
She'd have to push. And by the way, so when she's pushing, now she's in the studio and she's not in Vegas making many, many millions of dollars. I know a lot of actor friends who will pass on these incredible indie scripts, but because the manager's like, "Oh no, you're like," I know with Johnny Depp, not that he's a friend, but I know from people who've worked with him that like, "Oh no, he's doing 3 more Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and we're set to make a couple $100 million, and I know you've got this amazing script that's unbelievable. He's never doing it on my watch.
It's a tricky business.
So it's hard because you don't always have reps who are thinking like, okay.
And you never know. I mean, your reps might be great, but nobody knows what's going to work and what's not going to work. Right. You have no way of knowing. And so the span of a career will show that, but when you're in it, it's like you just make the most educated guess you can, and I don't know.
Do you work with reps too?
Yes.
Representation.
Yes, I've got great people
that work there around you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard when everyone needs a champion. Joan Rivers always said that. She's like I never had one. Which was sad.
You do need champions, and you need casting director friends that believe in you, and you need
Gary Marshall.
You need Gary Marshall. We haven't even talked about what it was on his set yet.
Tell me about that. Julia Roberts, Jason Sudeikis, Kate Hudson.
Shay Mitchell, who I'm obsessed with too.
Crazy. Yeah, tell us. So switch from music.
Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah.
He's unreal.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, he's a god. And before Justified too, if you know his work.
Oh my God.
Deadwood, man.
I know.
Nobody loves him more than Gary's wife, and so Gary put his wife in a scene with Timothy.
No way.
You'll see it in the film.
Okay, just so I can have hope. Gary's an older gentleman.
Yeah.
What's the age difference with the wife?
I think they're the same.
They are?
Yeah.
And that gives you hope because it means that you'll be with your fiance Maria forever.
They've been together for 50-something years.
Maria's younger than me, so I did well.
Yeah, you killed it.
They just celebrated some crazy anniversary that's close to 60.
So he's a good dude. It's very hard to find in
It's funny
Hollywood.
because I remember Penny Marshall. I was at a Lakers game, and I was lucky enough to sit with her, and I remember saying, "Oh, Penny, you're a great filmmaker. What's next?" She's like, I don't know. It's just kind of like waving her hand. She's like, if I can find a good script.
I know. She's hilarious. Oh, my God. What a character.
So who do you have scenes with? Who did you work with? I want to hear.
I worked with Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah.
And Lonnie Love. All these different storylines. I'm part of Jason's storyline where he's gone through a really difficult loss and really doesn't want to be celebrating Mother's Day, just really digging his heels in and doesn't want to move. He's got 2 teenage daughters, and I'm a friend of his that's just really trying to get him back in the saddle.
How much interaction did you have with Gary as far as director to actor?
A lot.
Really?
Yeah, he's very hands-on, but he's very quick because he comes from television. So it was like, and Jason's quick because he comes from SNL. And so, as the newcomer, I just had to make sure that I was really focused, really prepared.
Quicker than, say, most film directors.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I
So
mean,
what's the difference between a fast director and a slow one? Just to educate the...
yeah, like a fast director who comes from television, Gary comes from sitcom. So you don't do a lot of takes. You don't really get that much direction on your acting. It's more like move here, turn your head here, hit this mark and then say that.
The technicals of
Yeah,
it
the
all.
technical stuff of it. So what we would do every morning, Jason and I and Lonnie, is we would just kind of talk about what we wanted, how we saw the scene, and then Gary and the writers would come in, and they were very open to how we saw it, and it was really a collaboration.
No changing lines or anything? Did you?
I mean, Jason threw in a lot. I wouldn't, because I'm not the star. You
Right.
don't do that unless you're the star.
Roxy. No, because she'll do that. She'll
You don't
go
do
and tell
that.
the
You
director.
don't know.
Note to self, writing it down.
By the way, Roxy, we've had that experience. We've been filming things, right? And
You are getting quite an education here.
I am.
No, we've been filming and a couple of people that were filming were like in the middle, just improvising, doing whatever they wanted. And I go, "What are you doing? Like, tell
Yeah.
me, tell these kids, Lucy,
Yeah,
help me."
I mean, when
But see how she knew, like, see the instinct. I'm not the star. I'm not changing
Yeah.
lines.
well,
Right.
that comes from my acting coach, Gloria. She's always training us to be word perfect. I mean, if you were on a Neil Simon movie, if you changed a line, you would be fired instantly.
But then, okay, Pantene Katie, are you there? Is she not here?
No, I
Yes,
see her.
I am here.
Okay, so Pantene Katie, and Lucy, please just understand. Like, I'm trying to learn this whole like young person world we're living in. Now, so it has to be word perfect. So Pantene Katie, if you were in a Neil Simon play and you changed the words,
They call it being Simonized.
you'd be fired.
You'd be Simonized.
You'd be Simonized. Now, Katie, and
Yes.
remember, Katie, we're in the honesty room, and
Right.
you are. And Christian, help me through. She's with friends, right?
Hilarious.
Yeah, this is a safe space right here. You can
Okay.
talk about your
Okay.
feelings. Let us
Um,
know. Use your words.
Would
Okay.
you feel as though you were being bullied?
I don't think so.
Oh, be honest, Katie. You're not being honest because we have company, but you're with family. Lucy's already
Yeah,
shown
and
she
family.
understands common ground.
So I would be.
You'd be Simonized, which is kind of I'm sorry. It
And
seems,
nobody cares if your
Okay.
feelings are hurt.
So if I was Simonized, you're asking if I was Simonized, would I feel bullied?
Yes.
Maybe a little.
See,
There's too much
she's
money on the
bullied.
line for you to get your feelings hurt.
but she's okay. But now, how do we? Okay, so here's my dilemma. I want to be sensitive to the millennials, Lucy,
Uh-huh.
because being bullied. You know what? It's,
Being bullied sucks.
Yeah, and now she feels bullied. And you know what else we learned? Now, Roxy, tell Lucy what you were taught in school.
The thing that's worse than a bully is a bystander. Because a bystander does nothing. At
So-
least a bully has their own opinion.
So when Russell Simmons was in here, he was pontificating about, very strong opinions about veganism. Katie felt like she was being attacked, even though he didn't talk directly to her, but she just in general. So we learned about bullying. And then when Roxy taught me about bystanders being worse than bullies, we actually had that seat is occupied by a guy by the name of Ian Kaiser. But because he was a bystander, we threw him out because
Yeah.
Roxy
my
taught me.
God.
Yeah, but I didn't know.
You have to.
That bystanders are so. By the way, now Lucy, were there any bystanders who just sat by with poor Katie having to hear about being Simonized? Because Katie's going to be affected now. Because Katie is this is Pantene Katie. Pantene, come up, show her. See that hair is Pantene
Yeah.
Fresh.
I know. I
It's-
saw it up
it's
close earlier. I
Pantene
was
Katie,
very jealous.
very dynamic millennial, and often feels that she's being bullied and attacked because this is the new world we live in. So now I'm afraid that it's going to be hard for her to go for her next audition or next job because in the
will.
back of her head she's thinking, "Oh my God, am I going to be Simonized? I'm going to be bullied."
You won't get the job.
But then, okay, but I don't understand. How does she get? How does Pantene Katie, if she doesn't get the job, she gets bullied and we
But-
just have to let that go?
I just wanted to interject. Would it help if Katie's mom called Neil Simon? Do you
Yes.
think that would
No.
actually help the
Excellent
problem?
idea.
Yeah.
No. Because you know what? Early, Lucy, I was telling them how many of the moms will call me and dads will call me at AfterBuzz at my network, and they'll call and legit with the millennials. I'm not kidding, by the way. That's not a joke. But that's a great question. Lucy, would it help if Katie's mom or dad called Neil Simon?
Absolutely not. Not your agent, not your manager, not your publicist.
Sounds like a
no.
bully.
Yeah, it really does.
No.
And by the way, and I just see Lauren LaGrasso stroking her own hair. Is Lauren tonight's bystander?
Yeah.
I think I am.
I think she's trying to prey on Katie's weakness. I
That's
think she's a
right.
bystander turned bully.
I'm a
God.
bystander with a side of bully. Because I can't have that Pantene hair, and I'm jelly.
Okay.
Me too.
But do you guys hear the stuff that Lucy's saying? Talking
Yeah.
about her dad, how hard the dad works, how hard she works, how she goes onto the set and knows that, okay, I'm not the star, so I'm not going to, does that not impress you, Roxy?
No,
Please.
it definitely does. It definitely does.
Well, it's my coach pounding it into my head, and she treats our class
But
like
you
a
don't
set.
feel like the coach is bullying you when she's pounding you. See,
well,
that's my.
I'm not saying my attitude is perfect, but
Do you feel as though you're being bullied? Are there bystanders? No, Katie might be able to help you.
this is
This is the world we live in, Lucy.
way deep territory.
Get used to it. It's the world we live in. I'm being educated on this. I didn't know.
What is pounding it into? Because I had an acting coach once who threw a stapler at my head. Anytime you would get the line wrong, because he was a stickler for exact words too. And we'd throw something at you, threw a stapler at me, threw a chair at me, threw the eraser at me, all of that. Then you
Makes sense.
just
Well,
take it.
Well,
Okay.
here's what you have to ask yourself, Roxy.
Yeah.
Was he doing that? What was his intention?
In this
That's
case, I think
always the question.
I think in this case he was a prick and it was a power trip. But I think
that's
that
different.
I think that if
he wasn't really trying to get you to do it right. I mean, because when you see me
maybe.
yell at you guys, it's not for that reason. I'm trying to fucking get through to you so you'll be tough enough, so you'll know enough, so you can succeed.
yeah.
The great directors have said in their books that you do whatever it takes to get an actor to do what you want them to do.
Yeah.
And I'm all for that because I know that I need to be pushed. And when I have done the things that I'm proudest of, it was because there was somebody who gave a shit about the quality of the work enough to push me to the limit. And we're capable of it, but nobody pushes us. And so you never know.
See, so Lauren, we talked about this earlier, but you see when you're pushed, greatness
You
comes.
thrive.
Yeah.
Humans actually really thrive when they're pushed and when when discipline is put in. I mean, and if I don't want to say a loser, but it is called,
Well, you fall short. You don't have to say loser, but you're not going to get
it's
there.
called, we talk about it as like the mentality of the loser who thinks that the traffic rules are to inhibit you and punish you. They're there for your protection and so that you can thrive. Imagine driving around if there was no traffic lights and stop signs. I mean, it would be a mess. It's the same in art.
In art, I have a friend.
It's the same in the professional world, no matter if you're a banker or an actor
Right.
or a scuba diver.
And, my friend always says every painting needs a frame.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
So I'm all about tough coaches and, I was never into sports, but I think men understand this much easier than women. Some because men had coaches and women didn't have that. And so women
Women didn't have coaches.
for the most part, I'm not generalizing. I'm just saying I certainly didn't.
Well, women didn't play as many.
Women didn't
Okay.
weren't in the sports with the
Right.
tough coaches the way that most guys are. I don't know, maybe that has something to do with it, but it's also like acting is the one profession that people think you can just show up and do it. It's actually like training for the Olympics. And your Olympic coach, Michael Phelps is not going to get the gold with his coach just going, "Oh, that's okay, we'll try again tomorrow." No. I don't know if you
it's
okay. On
okay.
this
No,
show, but
yes,
it's
we
like
do. Yes,
We do.
of course we do.
you pound it into the ground. You go again. You get up earlier. You go to bed later. You eat. You do whatever the hell it takes, and that's how you achieve greatness.
Okay, out of Lauren, Roxy, Katie, who has the most participation awards? The awards you get just for showing up.
I love that I'm being used
Who do
to
we
make
get?
examples of your team.
Who do we
here.
get?
I'm
But by the
so-
way, you are not being used because
Okay.
this is me every day. But
Okay,
I'm
good, okay.
I'm alone. No, but honestly,
because I only just
listen,
met you.
we watched High Noon and we watched Revenge of the Nerds and the things that I've shared with them, and I'm totally outnumbered, and I'm the crazy one because I'm only having you say stuff that I've already said,
Right.
And I'm the bad guy. I'm the crazy one. I'm the, and I'm the minority on this. I'm the one being bullied. Who has the most participation awards? I'm going to say, I don't know. I'm going to say it's between Katie and Lauren. Roxy, did you win a lot? Did you pick up a lot of participation awards?
Not as many participation awards. I'm not sure if I know what it means.
It means you'd get a trophy no matter what. Just showing up.
Oh.
Just show up, get a trophy. Done.
I got a few of those.
You got a few of those.
Yeah, I got a few of those.
That's how it was.
Oh, yeah, I would come in last place in soccer. Here's a trophy.
You get your trophy. Oh,
yeah.
It's a wonderful time.
For sure.
Yeah.
Wonderful time we're living in.
Why? How come neither of them are speaking to the participation?
I think they just continue to stew and be more offended. You have no
I
idea.
got a couple participation awards. I did from the talent show in 5th grade. I got one. And there's got to be some other times, maybe at a swim meet or something. I got some real ribbons, but I also got some participation.
All right, very
Lucy
good.
didn't get any unless
Katie,
they were made of wood or cloth.
That's right.
Pantene Katie.
Yes, I have a bunch of participation awards. I think because I played soccer my whole life and I got those every season. But then I also got like MVP for defense. I won a couple spelling bees. So those two.
So you had coaches.
That's not participation if you're winning.
Well,
Right.
I'm just saying I have a mixture of both. Does that mean anything?
No. I just want to know who had the most. That's all. It's very interesting. I just want a little help from my new friend Lucy.
Now, to answer your other
Please.
question about different types of directors,
Yeah.
I just did an episode of Criminal Minds
With your dad.
with my dad.
Thank you for doing our job for us and reminding us.
That's
about
okay,
that.
but I was
Please.
just going to say that Joe Mantegna comes from theater, and Gary Marshall does as well, but he's had so much experience in sitcom that he's very quick. Joe Mantegna's, an hourly is a little different from sitcom because it takes a longer time to shoot the episode. And so between takes, he was working with me on different moments in the script and
Love that,
trying to get me to do different things.
Have you seen Searching for Bobby Fischer?
No, I
Pick
did
that
not
up.
see that. I will.
Joe Mantegna.
I will.
It's an underrated film. It's one of his most underrated films. He plays the dad to a young child genius, and you
Wow.
will totally relate to this because how he has to push the son, how the son has to push himself, and how the civilians don't understand. I've made Maria watch it a few times.
Great, I can't wait.
Yeah, please.
That'll be my movie tomorrow.
Did you meet our friend?
Will you let me know what you think? I would
Yeah, I
love to
will.
know. What were you gonna say?
If you met our friend Kirsten Bangsness over on Criminal Minds,
You will have such a connection with her. Please find her.
I didn't.
yeah, she's the blonde one.
I want to connect you guys.
She was not in my episode because she was busy on something else.
She's on the phone all the time. That's her thing.
She came here a couple of weeks ago and
Oh, nice.
blew our
Yeah, I saw
minds.
she'd been on the show. She actually wasn't in my episode for a crazy reason, but she's, yeah.
Okay, so that's your
Love to
second
meet her.
thing. So first thing is we got to do the Britney Spears
Yes, we have a lot
song.
of projects
2,
we're doing
you need
now.
to meet Kirsten. I
Yes.
mean that
Because
as well.
you do all the plays, she does all the plays. She
Great.
works on her craft. You work on her craft.
All
You
right,
both
and
actually
she's
give
an
a shit.
and she. What I love about her, total underdog.
Yeah.
Like community college and down in Orange County, knew no one
Yeah.
in the business.
I
and
was community college.
But yeah,
We'll talk about
dad
that.
by the name Joe of Joe. What
Well,
was his
no.
name? So anyway, I'm just saying.
Nobody cares
no,
about that.
I
if you
love your
suck.
story. They don't, but you know what? Listen, it does make all of us more excited. I know my
Sure.
kids are gonna get a little bit
Sure.
more love. It's just that, but then you also get the pressure too because you got to deliver. And so I get it. I believe me. I
Yeah.
get the give and take
Oh.
of it. But what I love about Kirsten is that this is someone who is such an inspiration because didn't know Juilliard, know nothing,
Right.
But I just think you guys would have I feel right, Rox. Don't you think they'd have a great connection?
100%. That's why
Yeah.
I asked because
I
I
think you
think that
guys
both
would
of your
really-
work ethics is crazy strong.
The third
Wow,
thing.
I sound like a really
Here's your third
driven
thing.
person.
No, you're not. No, it
Okay.
doesn't. No, you're not. You don't sound driven. And by the way, because Maria gets that a lot too. People say, you're so ambitious, you're driven. And like, no, that's actually the big misconception about Maria. She's just an incredibly hard worker.
Uh-huh.
That's it. You're a hard worker, and there's nothing wrong with that. And don't apologize for that.
No, I was saying I feel really cool.
You are.
Killing
are.
the
You're
game.
making me sound really.
Yeah, but you know
Really?
what? No, I think. But listen,
Thank you.
but everyone who is successful, like you said, you just said to your dad, who's doing it, right?
Yeah.
So we'll take it away from you. The third thing I feel like she should do is I feel like there's just something and this might not be for now, but remember this 10, 15, 20 years later.
Because he is the best manager in the entire business.
No, Captain Lou Albano.
No.
Can you we'll bring up Captain Lou. I feel like I need to show her Captain Lou when he had the Golden Terror. Maybe that's what we'll go out on tonight. We usually go out on them, the band Them.
Oh yeah.
You know
okay.
them?
Yes.
Yeah, with
I know them.
Maybe I should play that because I think you'd love that song. But no, a third thing is I feel like there's just something interesting with Joe Walsh and Ringo Starr, and I feel like there's something like a Marilyn and Me, My Dinner with Andre.
Wow.
There's just something really interesting that this little girl has seen. There's stories within that world you're not telling us that you know
right.
and that you've experienced, and I feel like a slice or sliver of that world told from your perspective. I think Postcards from the Edge. Have you seen that?
No.
You need to see.
Look at all these assignments.
You need to see that. So Carrie Fisher wrote that.
Uh-huh.
Carrie, and her mom was Debbie Reynolds.
Right.
So she had that kind of big showbiz mom, and just an interesting take. Not that the story is anything similar at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, like, you are front row of really incredible and dynamic people that are going to be remembered long after we're all gone.
Yes.
And where you're an artist and you can express yourself so well. In particular, you've proven that you can express yourself even better for other people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like down the road there's something there.
You're right.
Those are your three
I
assignments.
remember you said that because I have many ideas.
Many. Well, by the way, but listen, I get shit done.
Yeah.
So we had Randall Emmett here, Emmett for all the films. He's a personal friend of mine. I do some stuff with Harvey Weinstein, not just name drop. I'm telling you the truth. Like, but there's just something there.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is something that's written in a month. I think this takes time.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you had a front row seat of history that none of us have or have seen. You know?
Absolutely.
So it's just, you got to remember that. Okay, so this is who I wish was alive to manage you right now. You see right there, see that guy in the center?
Uh-huh.
By the man by the name of Captain Lou Albano. We actually showed this to Kirsten, and she was blown away. She was like, "You're right. He would have been an amazing
jaw on the floor."
Yeah. So here's Captain Lou.
Captain Lou.
So what happened was, I'm going to give you a little backstory here. Is Captain Lou, there was a match between Haystacks Calhoun, who was a big superstar, so would always sell out Madison Square Garden.
Uh-huh.
Like he was like 680 pounds, some crazy thing. God. And I forget, he was fighting another big supervillain, and the supervillain at the time was injured. I said, oh, shit, what are we going to do? We sold all these tickets. What are we going to do? The fans are going to they're going to all want their money back if we don't have a competitor. So they take this guy, Pete Doherty. And Pete Doherty was known as the Duke of Dorchester, Massachusetts. He was an alcoholic, just a drunk, no teeth. And they said, all right, we'll throw a yellow mask on him. Let's give him a gold sequins cape. We're going to call him the Golden Terror.
Oh my God, is that him on the left?
Yes.
You guessed
it. And so they're saying to them, but they're saying to themselves, wait, this is insane. How are we going to get this, like, this fat guy, put him in some outfit, and I don't mean fat in like a giant fat way. I mean just a guy with a beer belly.
Mm.
How are we going to put him against Haystacks Calhoun? We got it. Let's bring in Captain Lou. And so this was the days where these interviews were not scripted. Today they're scripted. they work with directors. They
right.
work,
Yeah.
This was the old days. So it's like literally like, here's Captain Lou, who finishes like his like probably 11th Schlitz, takes a piss, and they go, listen, it's Pete Doherty. He's playing the Golden Terror. He's going against Haystacks. We got 10 minutes. Can you just make something happen that we can broadcast to the fans, and let's hope it works. And so let's take it from the top. Captain Lou Albano being interviewed by a young Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And are you familiar with WWF, WWE at all?
I guess.
Probably not when you're up in Northern California. All right, but you know Vince McMahon, right? The overlord of the whole WWE.
I'm about to be educated.
All right, you are.
Yeah.
A little different than Gone with the Wind. Just a little
bit, yeah.
But not that different.
But not that different.
Not that different, as you're going to find out.
Not that different because they have capes too.
They have capes too.
Yeah.
And they're expressing themselves and they're playing roles.
Exactly.
And it's less racist. So
Exactly. Okay, so here's a young Vincent Kennedy McMahon interviewing Captain Louis Albano.
Oh my God, what am I
about the upcoming match between the Golden Terror and Haystacks Calhoun. as interpreted by Captain Keven Undergaro, as watched by the great Lucy Walsh. Here we go.
Thursday night. Are you ready for this Thursday night?
Are you ready? Fair question.
Does a cat have a tail?
Does a cat have a tail?
Do a pussycat walk through the woods?
Okay, pause there. Lucy, I'm going to ask you. No, Lucy, do a cat have a tail?
Yeah.
Okay, right? Do a pussycat walk through the woods?
Yeah.
Okay, so is he ready? Of course he's ready.
Right, I'm with you so far.
But you see the conviction in Lou?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, keep going.
Be ready. Look at the man.
Look at him.
Can you see through the mask? You get a close-up of his eyes?
Pause. Look at already taking control of the interview. Telling the cameraman, can you get a close-up of the eyes?
What is
Can you take a look at the mask? Here we go.
I've never laughed so hard. I'm snorting.
Lucy, please, we're learning.
What are you doing
No,
to me?
here we go. Keep
Teach a
saying it.
millennial to view.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're teaching.
Determination, will to win,
Yep,
mentally balanced, mentally competent,
yep, absolutely.
physically fit,
Physically fit.
speed, agility,
Yep,
power,
absolutely.
suplex artist,
Yep.
chicken wing specialist.
Chicken wing special. I didn't even know
Step
that.
over toe hold.
Step over toe hold.
Is he ready?
Is he-
Do a pussycat have a tail? Answer that, brother.
Answer that, brother. Pause. Now, you see how he looks away? Do you think at all, Lucy, he's interested in the answer that even the great Vince McMahon?
Absolutely not.
No.
No.
No,
It's a
because
rhetorical question.
Because he
all of it.
knows.
You get it.
He knows.
What was the chicken wing part?
Step over toe hold,
I guess
chicken
it's a
wing
move.
specialist. Is he ready?
How many times a day do you watch this?
A lot.
We've
No,
watched.
it's worse. It's not me. You can ask Maria on her
Are you
show.
in the bathtub with Maria and you're like,
No.
babe, wait,
Next to her
you
bed.
just gotta watch this.
What, no,
babe."
when she is just unsure about something in her career, I'm like, okay, listen, just pretend Lou is right here.
We're not even at the best part.
Keep going. Keep
Oh my
going.
god.
Okay, watch Vince.
Have you ever seen the Golden Terror use a suplex in the square?
Well, I think you're soft, so what? Maybe it's an optical illusion. Maybe you haven't been able to focus your eyes quick enough to catch the man in action. He's been known to suplex from his knees.
Now listen.
Do that?
What is the
Go,
Golden
okay,
Terror?
go back.
Right
Let's
now.
go back.
What
Let's
does
go
the
back to
Golden
Vince's
Terror have to
question.
say about this?
No, we don't
I
want
know
to.
you know this by
Have you
heart.
ever
Yeah.
seen the Golden Terror use a suplex in the
Pause.
square?
Well, I think you're
You see when you're
You're
attacked?
mouthing every word of
Every
this.
word. Now you see where Vince tries to rally an attack. I
Yeah.
don't think we've ever seen this
It's a meager,
drunken guy with
meager
a
attack.
beer belly do a suplex in the
Right.
squared circle. Do you think
He's
there's-
asking logical questions.
Okay,
He's
but-
posing logical points.
But you see how the captain doesn't even
he
blink.
no
No, what does he do? Counter.
keeps mowing him down.
Mows him down and then he goes to the counter. Can you do that?
Yes.
Here we go. Play.
Oh, I thought you were asking me if I
it's
can.
okay. Well, I like that, but you have the conviction like Captain Lou. I like that, Lucy. Keep that. We're gonna need that later in your career. Keep playing.
so what?
I think you're
Maybe
soft.
It's
So
an
what?
optical illusion. Maybe you haven't been able to focus your eyes quick enough to catch the man in action.
Yep.
He's been known to suplex from his knees. Can you do that?
What is the
Get
Golden-
Calhoun out
Get
here
Calhoun
right now.
out there
What
right
does the
now.
Golden Terror
Pause.
have to-
Get him out there right now.
Look at his face on the right.
Yeah.
He's just like
He just got completely shit on. Like,
he doesn't
And
know
then
what's
Vince even,
happening.
and Vince and look at and he just walks away. Just Captain Lou. He said, "Okay, so keep playing." Vince.
About this.
Don't say nothing.
That's right.
Quiet. All right? He's not talking, Bumblebee. How do you like that, Wash?
Wasp.
So there you have it. From Lewis, Albano, and the Golden
Use
Terror,
that
the
deodorant
Golden
on
Terror
occasion?
will join Haystacks,
There you go.
Calhoun,
Pause.
and many other.
And of course,
Wow,
and
you
sadly,
had to take that
and
personal
sadly,
jab
he's
at the end.
Right.
Yeah, the
well, sadly,
deodorant.
Vince had to get bullied. Pantene Katie, that's your first time seeing that. Are you okay with that?
Actually, I was here when we showed it to Kirsten, but I do think that last line was a bit of bullying.
It was a bit of bullying, and I would say the guy in the cape is a bystander.
Biggest
No,
bystander
he
of all
is.
time.
You're so right,
This
Lucy.
is just getting too much for me to process right now.
That's what
oh,
I
he's
say.
a bystander.
Lucy, I
But
don't
if you're
even-
told not to speak, are you a bystander?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
wow, Roxy, you're the one who was taught this rule. You're asking our guests.
Well, because now I have to because I have to pose the question to everybody. What is a bystander?
could you just imagine? So anyway, this is so just know that anything you see with Maria, good or bad, it's the teachings of Captain Lou to me, to Maria, all based on that.
I'm
By the
going to
way,
remember that.
If you knew how many decisions that were made in her career based on absolute fucking nonsense. So one time the Red Sox. So you like sports, right? You don't like sports.
I love. Listen. Before everybody
said the whole sports
judges,
thing. Go ahead.
listen.
Does a pussycat have a tail?
Yeah. Do a pussycat walk through the woods? Answer me, brother.
I don't follow sports, but I like going to events
Okay.
to eat popcorn and hot dogs.
You enjoy it.
I do too, actually, for that same reason. No,
Yes.
there's certain
But I don't
teams
know,
I don't
like,
love,
no.
and I just like going for the ambiance and the
Yeah.
experience. No. But you mentioned sports earlier about coaching and
Right,
things like
yes.
that. So the year the Red Sox beat the Yankees, they had lost them for 80 years straight. They had lost them.
Jeez.
And they were down in the series 3-0. And maybe one team in all 4 major sports in this country had ever come back when they're down 3-0 in the in a championship series. The Red Sox come back and they win.
Mm-hmm, wow.
And they win, and when they won the first game, Maria was not the biggest Red Sox fan at the time. And I said, no, honey, got to pay attention now. I need you to pay attention. She said, why? Why? I said, because something strange is happening. The Red Sox almost 100 years have not beaten the Yankees. But something strange is happening with the universe. They're beating them. They're coming back. They're creeping back. It was 3-1, 3-2, 3-3. And so by that last game, I said, here's the last thing I'm going to tell you. If this happens, a wormhole is going to open in the universe because it's not supposed to happen. We're going to get a small little hole in the universe. And I said, and the smart people like us, we got to go through the wormhole.
Are you an Aquarius?
No, Scorpio. But I did say this is going to happen. And so she was at Entertainment Tonight, and they were offering her Mary Hart's job at the time. So Captain Lou goes, no, there's a wormhole. We got to go through it. So
Captain Lou said that?
Captain Lou said to me, which I said to Maria.
Captain Lou, who has been passed away for quite some time.
Thank you, giving me some sign language. I love that. and the Red Sox win, and I ultimately make the decision to move Maria to NBC, where she does the Today Show Nightly News and Access Hollywood, and remains the only person, amongst many things, the only person to ever interview the entire Obama
Captain
family.
Lou.
All because of Captain Lou. Because I knew Captain Lou would. That was the idea.
You knew Captain Lou would follow through.
It would have known that there was a wormhole in the universe and that you got to go through it. So, yes. So, when you see Maria's career, good or bad, you go, it's not, don't blame me.
I'm sold. I'm sold on Captain Lou.
Speed, agility, will to win, step over toe hold, chicken wing specials. Are you ready? Do a pussycat have a tail?
All rhetorical questions.
Right. So, here's the thing. So, Lucy, we have 3 assignments.
Yes.
Right? We have
yes.
3. So we're going to come back to the Tomorrow Show with updates.
Yes.
On this, right?
He means it.
I know, and thank you, and I know that you'll hold me accountable for it.
Oh, yeah, you know.
And I'm going to have to yes, I'll be back.
No, but by the way, no, thank you for everything. And no, thank you, because your words, in all seriousness, are very inspiring and very encouraging. It makes me feel like I'm not that crazy. I know I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy. And no, this is a battle every night here. It's a battle every night here.
Well,
no, but the generation coming up doesn't understand that.
Well, thank you for having me, and I'm glad that I could be used as fuel for your
for my madness to keep
your
going.
Machine here.
Lucy, where do we find you? And
I'm on Instagram, The Lucy Walsh, Twitter, The Lucy Walsh, Facebook, Lucy Walsh fan page. The song from Mother's Day will be on iTunes within a couple days here.
Very
exciting. Mother's Day is out April 29th.
That's
go
not
see
Friday
it open.
Tomorrow, but
a week
Friday.
from tomorrow. Please go see it opening weekend.
And tweet at Lucy Walsh.
Yeah,
let her know.
The Lucy Walsh.
The Lucy Walsh.
The Lucy Walsh. Yeah.
And on Instagram.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
You know what? We're going to see you again. You're not going anywhere.
You. Thanks for having me.
And you'll have to go see Karen on her show, Conversations with Maria. It's at Roxy Stryer. It's at Gilkerson Radio. It's at Lauren Lagrasso. It's at Bladcast. It's at Katie Campbell with 3 E's and then 4 other accounts, right?
But the 3 E's are where it's at.
Katie with 3 E's Campbell.
All right. And you know what? And hashtag let's not bully Katie.
It's at Undergaro.
It's at Undergaro. Guys, The Tomorrow Show. We'll be back Monday with Amy Garcia from the show Rush Hour, Lauren.
I believe so, yes.
Yes,
I mean, she is from Rush Hour.
And
She'll
then
be here.
Thursday night we have Chuck Safra, president of Fox Movie Channel and FX, and I don't know, and I'll update you guys on my recon for Bar Rescue. And until all of that, please try and make it a better tomorrow.
Thanks for tuning in to The Tomorrow Show with Keven Undergaro. For guest bookings, questions, or comments, you can email us at info@thetomorrowshow.com. Be sure to follow us on social media and tell a friend about the show. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, your voice of tomorrow, wishing you a better one.